up, guys? Boy, Ben, and get ready for the world to change forever today as the Iranian president is dead. Now confirmed, Ibrahim Raisi, 63, is confirmed dead with no signs of life at a helicopter crash site. Ibrahim Raisi pictured here for the last time before the doomed helicopter flight crashed near the Iranian-Azerbaijani border in atrocious weather. This man was the president of Iran. He backed Hamas. Hamas is currently at war with Israel. There are many who are celebrating this across the internet, including some Iranians. But let's read what actually happened. Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi killed after a helicopter carrying him and officials crashed in the mountains in the northeast regions of Iran. Raisi, 63, was confirmed dead by Iranian media today. Foreign minister was also aboard the flight, along with the governor of the eastern region of Azerbaijan. 2 pilots and 3 other Iranian officials and security guards also perished in the crash. Grainy drone footage from Iranian and Turkish news agencies showed how the helicopter had smashed apart on the landing, and the Iranian official said the search teams were located. The wreckage showed no signs of life. It took a very long time to get to the wreckage. You can see here now the tail of the helicopter there, and the search teams going about discovering or attempting to find any signs of life. The final moments of the Iranian president's life captured here in haunting video. What will happen next? Well, we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. It's a tough part of the world, right? So will this create a power vacuum? Will this create some type of meaningful change in Iran? Not exactly sure. I just know one thing. I don't want American boots on the ground doing it. We're not here to liberate or bring democracy. Let the people choose for themselves, please. Not another American entanglement in the Mideast. Thank you very much. You can see here, there, the end, the tail of the wreckage, but everything else atomized. Everything else atomized. A Turkish drone identified a heat source, according to the wreckage, but it did take a very long time to find this. And so now Iran searches for a new leader. Here's the reports out of the crash site.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Ashley Strohmeyer live in New York. Iranian state media is reporting there are no signs of life seen at the crash site of the helicopter that was carrying President Ibrahim Raisi and others. News of Raisi's death comes nearly 15 hours after the helicopter crashed in a remote part of the country during dense fog. Rescue efforts have been hampered by bad weather and tough terrain. A number of top officials, including the country's foreign minister, were also on board that chopper. Now, that chopper was heading back to the country's capital when it reportedly went down.
So here we go. This was sort of the last known photograph here, hours after he posed for photos with Azerbaijan's president. So this is the president of Iran and the president of Azerbaijan holding hands there to celebrate a project, a dam project. This is one of the helicopters that was in the convoy, potentially the helicopter, and this is where the crash actually happened. According to all available data and evidence, this is where the meeting place took place, right on the border there to celebrate a large construction project. Helicopter carrying the Iranian president and his foreign ministers crashed, crossing a mountain terrain in heavy fog, and it crashed right here. Again, an extremely remote and rural part of the world. Iranians celebrate the death of President Raisi with fireworks while victims of his torturous regime and their loved ones dance and drink a toast to the fatal helicopter crash. Gallows celebration here. It is a brutal regime. There are a lot of people who've been atrociously victimized by the brutality of the Iranian regime, which is, bad. That's another way. They shoot protesters on site, right? Like, they pillage and torture and fund terrorism all throughout the region. And I have multiple friends who served in Iraq and Afghanistan and were the victims of Iranian-made roadside bombs. So these people are monsters, all right? So like this guy was part of a monstrous regime, and now the reporting is now that he is dead is confirmed. So this is sort of the footage of the extremely dense fog. I mean, extremely tough. You can barely see cars on the road here, right? Like you can barely see the cars that are driving down the road. You can see sort of the weather conditions here and maybe piece together how tough it would be to actually get a rescue going, or to get any type of
جان شرقی گفتند این مسیر
flight
این بالگرد در
through
مسیر
here.
برگشت مجبور به فرود سخت شده.
Look at this.
تصاویر مستقیم رو
You can see here,
از
like I said,
حضور و
thick.
تلاش گروه‌های امدادی
That's soup.
برای یافتن بالگرد رئیس جمهور ملاحظه می‌کنید که در
So what will happen next in Iran? That effectively is the question. Will there be a power vacuum? Will there be a regime change? We'll see. The world is changing quickly.
Comes at a fraught moment in the Middle East with the war raging in Gaza and weeks after Iran launched a drone and missile attack on Israel in response to a deadly strike on its diplomatic compound in Damascus. Hardliner Raisi became president in an historically uncompetitive election in 2021. Iran's supreme leader is stressing the business of Iran's government will continue no matter what. Under the Iranian constitution, Iran's first vice president takes over if the president dies.
So apparently, this man has been named with the blessings of the supreme leader. But again, you can see here at the crash site, they can't even fly drones, and they weren't even able to fly drones in this environment. So apparently, the drones were crashing as they were flying through here. So should the helicopter have taken off at all? I guess is the question, perhaps. But we'll see. Is this style of helicopter? I believe this was actually the takeoff of the helicopter from the border. So again, perhaps pilot error, perhaps error with the actual helicopter. Helicopters do crash and crash regularly. Kobe Bryant actually was killed in a helicopter crash quite in recent memory, and that was in the hills of Hollywood, right? And on a perfectly clear day, as I remember. Helicopter carrying President Ibrahim Raisi has crashed. Search and rescue in heavy fog. Raisi was on Tehran death commission that executed 5,000 political prisoners. He oversaw mass murder, torture, rape, beating, abductions. Iran across the region. So yeah, not a great guy. So there are statements kind of pouring in now. This was the initial drone footage to show sort of a heat map here of what may have happened. The wreckage you can see here now after the clearing of the fog, sort of visible there on the mountainside. Video drone shows the helicopter is completely destroyed. President of Iran is presumed to be dead. Body is cold. All bodies are cold. So this was the initial reporting here. And now what happens next? Well, this guy doesn't look like a particularly nice guy. Iran's vice president, Mohammed Mukbar, is set to take over as acting president pending the approval of the supreme leader following the death of Ibrahim Raisi in the helicopter crash. Constitution stipulating the new president must be elected within 50 days. Now, there are some very curious reports out about strange things happening online. Like, for instance, you're not able to actually track the weather on the date of the actual crash. So this is an internet user saying effectively on this publicly available weather tracking website that the date just skips entirely the day that the helicopter crashed. So this is a little strange, right? It's a little odd. You can go watch it for yourself. You can see the account and everything. But you can see here, it goes from the 18th, the helicopter crashed on the 19th, and the data for weather just isn't there. It just skips. It skips from the 18th to the 20th, and they've effectively deleted the data from the weather tracking service for that day, for that part of the world. And this man was just trying to figure out what weather conditions there were there, and it just skips. It just skips. You're not able to find the weather for the 19th. Maybe it's a glitch. We'll keep our eye on it. But times, they are changing. It is going to be an interesting world out there. 2024 is going to be wild. Just last week, the president of Serbia, there was an attempted assassination on him. He was shot and there's been a wild role, terrorist attacks inside of Moscow, a crazy role for leaders across the world. I guess we'll see what happens. Keep your head on a swivel. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel to stay updated on the news. Confirmed. It's your boy Benny.